Bienvenidas, bienvenidos. Today we are going to talk about the brand new president of Mexico. She is an amazing scientist who carries on the mantle of the popular president, outgoing president, López, Obrador, or as the most of the country calls him, AMLO. So President Sheinbaum has come in with a 99-point plan on how she's going to transform Mexico. So we're going to dig into it a little bit and discuss it. And of course, wait till the end because we've got some good books to recommend. But first, this is Latina Literati. So President Sheinbaum of Mexico, the first female president in North America, the first scientist. She's a climate scientist. She was actually here in Northern California studying and working. So she understands really, really well the climate crises, and that is absolutely one of her focus of her presidency. And so in general, her 99 points are going to focus on economic growth, modernization, and of course, climate science. An example of one of the projects that she has planned is the largest solar voltaic farm in the hemisphere, at least in Latin America, in Sonora. And anyone who knows Mexico, that northern state of Sonora is hot. Lots of sun, so a perfect place for a sun farm. President Sheinbaum's 99-point plan will be the cornerstone of her presidency, and she wants to technify the nation. What does that mean? It means internet for all. As we know, there is a huge digital divide everywhere. But in developing nations like Mexico, the digital divide literally means the difference between being able to live in the modern world and not. And so she wants to help provide internet throughout the country to the entire population. She also wants to technify and digitize services from the government. So if you've ever had to go through any bureaucratic channels, you know there's a big difference if you can do things online or if you have to go stand in line and get lots of stamps and signatures. So being able to have access to government services online is a huge, huge step forward for any nation, but especially a nation that is growing as quickly as Mexico. So not just digitizing the nation, but of course she wants to focus on green mobility. And what does that mean? That means electric and non-polluting public transportation in all the cities. She wants to ensure that people can get around without using traditional diesel and gas vehicles, which of course is huge because we know how polluted cities can be when everyone's driving around in the old style vehicles. Another area is the area of economic development through specific projects in different parts of the nation. So there's a more balanced growth throughout Mexico, and also ensuring worker protections, fairer wages. We know that under the last president, the minimum wage was raised about 80% after inflation, and payments to seniors, the equivalent of what we would call Social Security, was tripled. So all of a sudden, millions of people are lifted out of poverty through these payments, through these governments. And of course, this needs to be paid because all of these programs will be paid through a more fair tax system where those with more pay more. So again, we should be looking to Mexico on a lot of these fronts because they are doing what we should be doing also. As a scientist, President Sheinbaum understands the importance of prevention in health services. And so she's continuing the program, community-based program, Health at Home, where people are visited at home, where you can access services on digital platforms, where there's more equitable access to health services in the poorer regions of Mexico. This is not an easy task at all, and it will make a huge difference to so many people in Mexico and to people from North America who actually go to Mexico. You know, medical tourism is a billion-dollar industry. Many people. Everything is so expensive in North America that people will drive to Mexico for dentists or other types of medical services. So it's quite interesting that Mexico provides an outlet for those close to the border and those who may not be close to the border that travel there for health tourism. Not just did Claudia Sheinbaum win the presidency, but her party, Morena, won majorities or almost majorities in the different congresses in many of the states. So there's a lot of popular support for these programs. So she is focused on the most basic pillars that we talked about before for a dignified life. That is better wages, healthcare, education, access, equitable access to greener alternatives, just a better quality of life. So it's going to be fascinating the next 6 years, because in Mexico, the president serves for 6 years, what she will be able to accomplish. And of course, there will be some obstacles, but we wish her well. And we hope that you will look into Claudia Sheinbaum, who she is and what her programs are, because it's quite exciting. And now for my favorite part of the video, the book recommendations. So of course, the first book is one by the last president, the outgoing president, AMLO. It's called Gracias, which means thank you. And it really talks about his program, what he wanted to accomplish, what he was able to accomplish. It was just published in August, and so it's really a retrospective of the last 6 years to kind of give you a basis of what programs are being rolled out in Mexico and how we may be able to apply them in North America. The second book is Saying No to Violence, Corruption, and the Wall. Really interesting, again, a retrospective of where Mexico is today, and what has become of the policies that at one point were quite conservative and have now really shifted to the left and really people focused. So highly recommend both these books. They're a great introduction to where Mexico is and where it's going in the future. And as always, check your local library, your local bookseller to see if they have them available. And if not, we always leave links for independent booksellers in the description box. Thank you so much for sharing this video, and let us know, what are you reading? What do you think about this video? What do you think about the new president of Mexico? We'd love to hear your opinions as well. We'd love you to subscribe to Latina Literati. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. Con mucho cariño, mucho salud, mucho amor. Gracias.